watching The Big Story on Magic Bricks Now. I'm Amita Balachandra. On The Big Story, we're tracking today Mega Magic Bricks Now impact. Karnataka High Court puts Bengaluru's controversial steel flyover on hold. But first, the headlines. Mega Magic Bricks Now impact. Bengaluru's controversial steel flyover put on hold. The Bengaluru Development Authority gives an undertaking to the Karnataka High Court that it will not proceed with the construction. Delhi is still paying for its Diwali festivities. Polluted air and poor visibility on stretches of the highway leads to a 20-car pile-up on Yamuna Expressway. 12 people were reported injured in this early morning accident. And the gloves are off and swords are out. In Maharashtra, political parties gear up for the upcoming civic elections. Straight up to the big story we're tracking here on Magic Bricks Now. To Magic Bricks Now impact. A sustained campaign with the citizens of Bengaluru pays off. Big win for Bengaluru citizens fighting against the VVIP steel flyover. Karnataka High Court put steel flyover on hold. Now the Bengaluru Development Authority or the BDA gives an undertaking agreeing to not start work on the controversial project for now. Shrija gets us more details.
In a big victory for protesting citizens, the Bengaluru Development Authority today gave an undertaking to the Karnataka High Court that it will not proceed with the construction of the proposed steel flyover. Remember, citizens have been against this flyover and they have been protesting for over a month. The Honorable High Court said that it would examine the legal and constitutional issues such as lack of public consultation and scrutiny of the project by the Metropolitan Planning Committee, and they will pass a final order. Now, the petition filed by Namma Bengaluru Foundation challenged the construction of 6-lane elevated road from Basaveshwara Circle to Hebbal flyover by Bengaluru Development Authority at an estimated cost of 1,791 crores. And the petition was today heard in the wake of the injunction today passed by the National Green Tribunal on October 25, 2016. Now, citizens have been protesting against this flyover for various reasons, chief being that it will cost the city about 812 trees that will have to be axed to make way for the flyover. The NGT has stayed the flyover for 4 weeks. The next hearing is scheduled in the next 3 weeks. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Magic Bricks Now.
Now, we also spoke with P.N. Nayak from the BDA, Bengaluru Development Authority. He says the Development Authority will now wait for the crucial National Green Tribunal nod to take the project forward.
We gave the letter of acceptance. In the meantime, NGT has given the stay for 4 weeks. We have stopped it. We have stopped the work. No, we have to file our application to the NGT. Then, once it is clear from the NGT, then we will proceed.
Now, joining me on Magic Bricks Now is Sridhar Pabishetty from Namma Bengaluru Foundation. Sridhar, welcome to the show. First of all, first there was the NGT stay. Now, of course, with the High Court stay, it's big win for citizens of Bengaluru, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think, as we have been saying from the start, today's hearing at the High Court has been a very, very welcome victory. We have been saying that due process of law has not been followed. We have the key issue of saying when the project is not there in the master plan of BDA, how could the BDA proceed with this without putting it through the scrutiny of the Metropolitan Planning Committee? Secondly, due, effective and deliberate public consultations are the norm on project of this nature. Why was there no due, effective and deliberate public consultation done? And thirdly, I hope at some point of time we'll get a chance to look at our RTI applications. Our RTI applications go back to 14th of July of this year, and none of them have been answered so far, and information have not been given. They are going from table to table, appeal to appeal, but BDA is still not disclosed the information. So what kind of scrutiny will BDA be open to? Was it BDA's decision till this day? But today at the Karnataka High Court, they were forced to make a submission that they will not proceed with the project unless they get a go-ahead with the Karnataka High Court as well. So I think now BDA has an uphill task of now convincing how they have followed due process of law at the Karnataka High Court, and also the environmental aspects they have to now go and explain at the National Green Tribunal. And hopefully between these two, they will get to answer the key crucial questions of saying, do they have the mandate, and now how will they go ahead with it?
Right, Sridhar, do stay with us. We also have Nasir Hussain of the Congress Party joining us on Magic Bricks now. Mr. Hussain, first of all, the government of Karnataka has been very keen on implementing this flyover. Now with the High Court asking the BDA to not go ahead with the construction, it's a huge setback for the Karnataka government.
See, Amitabh, the Karnataka government and the Indian National Congress are committed for the development of Bangalore city. They are committed to ease the traffic on the roads of Bangalore city. They are committed to give the best possible infrastructure to the people of Bangalore. We are committed, and there is no second thought on that. There are people who are concerned on the environment issues. There are people who say procedures are not followed. There are people who are really concerned, and there are people who are politically motivated. So, some people went to NGT, some went to the court. In both the cases, what you have seen is they have asked for certain clarifications. They have not asked us to close the construction of the road. They have just asked us to hold till both these authorities give us go ahead or give the final judgment on that. I think people, those who are claiming a victory, it's fine for them. Let them be happy. Let them claim victory on that. But we in the government and in the party, we are committed not only for this flyover, we are committed for the other flyovers, other elevated corridors, other tender shore roads. For everything that is possible that will benefit for the people of Bengaluru, we are going to go ahead with that. And as for the clarification that has to be given both in the NGT and the court, I think when the government has followed all the procedures, I'm sure they have everything on their side to be presented in both the NGT and the court.
Sridhar, I want you to come in here, reback to that statement, Nasir Hussain saying that this is just an interim, order, and they are still committed to going ahead with the steel flyover.
I hope Nasir Hussain remembers the assurances that he gave on your very sure the last time around we were there, telling that information sought under RTI should be disclosed. I would like to bring to his notice this RTI application filed by Namma Bengaluru Foundation dated 14th July, where we had asked the DPR of the project, we had asked for feasibility studies that were conducted, the impact assessments they had undertaken, and what was the nature of public opinion they have received. And to this day, we have only got laughable excuses for this, including things such as the information that you seek has to be created. I fail to understand if the DPR was created in November of 2015, why was it not put into the public domain till there was a protest 36 hours before the protest? What is it that they are hiding? And there are still many unanswered questions from our RTI, including the tendering process, the tenders received, how are they approved, how are they processed. All this information, even after the first appeal that was heard by the BDA on October 18th, we are yet to get a order and we are yet to get a commitment on them from when they will release this information. I still don't understand what is it that Mr. Nasir Hussain claims as an interim setback or whatever to him when they have failed to follow due process of law. Mr. Nasir Hussain, I don't know if you know, so there is something called as the Right to Information Act, and there is something that I think UPA 1 brought it in the year 2005. Is BDA above and beyond even the RTI Act?
See, I think Mr. Pavi Shetty is trying to confuse and mislead the viewers on your television channel. See, RTI, which was brought by the UPA and the Congress government, we are all very committed that the RTI should be enforced. Whether it is
no, but is BDA beyond and above RTI Act? Is the question that I asked.
Please hold on. Whether it is the BBMP or the BDA or the Karnataka government, everyone is binded by the RTI Act, and everyone has to answer all the questions that has been sought. If somebody is not doing that, they will have to answer for that. That is fine. But what I commit on this channel is, see, whatever information that has been asked in the High Court and by the NGT will be provided by the government of Karnataka. Will be provided.
Mr. Hussain, also tell me this.
There are no lapses in the procedures that has to be followed for this flyover or any other flyover. If there is there, then the government of Karnataka will answer for that. And I'm sure by now what is now that is between the people those who are protesting and in the government is that there's a certain thing which the same questions are coming again and again. The government of Karnataka has already answered it. The government of Karnataka will answer it again and again, whether it is in NGT, whether it is in High Court, whether it is in public domain.
Right. Mr. Hussain, tell me this now. Sources also tell us that you will challenge the High Court and the NGT order in the Supreme Court. Is that true?
I don't know. That is for the government of Karnataka to decide as to how to work. But I think the clarifications that have been sought by both these bodies, the High Court and the NGT, I think the procedures that have been followed by the Karnataka government, if that are provided there, I think that will solve the problem. I don't know if they are going for to challenge this orders in Supreme Court or not. I'm not very sure about it. I'll have to check it on that. And that if the government of Karnataka doesn't want to wait for that, they can also challenge it in the Supreme Court, because that avenue is also open for the government of Karnataka to go ahead.
All right, I want to bring in Sridhar here. Sridhar, Mr. Hussain also said that this will ease traffic in the city of Bangalore considerably. Explain to our viewers what you think of it.
I definitely don't think so, and Mr. Hussain is completely misinformed on this. World over, studies have shown that mobility improvement is important and not building infrastructure for cars. Right? There is a philosophical misunderstanding by the government of Karnataka of how they will go ahead and solve this problem. We have seen flyover after flyover, be it KR Puram flyover, be it Silk Boat flyover, where you only shift the bottlenecks, but you don't really solve the problem. Right? So unfortunately, the government has an ostrich-like behavior. I'm bringing a very specific information, and I'm more than happy to give the copy of the RTI Act to the RTI applications to Mr. Nasir Hussain. I've never heard anything concrete from Mr. Nasir Hussain other than somebody will follow the due process. Here is a very specific case of information where RTI Act has been butchered by the BDA, and he still thinks that the government would have done the due process. I don't know on what basis he speaks. Right? So it's important that we solve the problem in the right way. The Metropolitan Planning Committee is the right body to look at a holistic long-term development vision for Bangalore for a period of 5 years and steer the development work that's taken by all agencies that are relevant to the state. I don't even know why Mr. Hussain doesn't want to be informed on the right processes as well. It's good that he has to defend his government, but at the same time, he can't turn a blind eye to the right processes, which we have been speaking continuously, and I don't think he does his homework well.
No, I think Mr. Pavi Shetty has been harping on the same argument again and again. See, we have already clarified there is no need for every project to be gone in Bangalore Metropolitan Planning Committee. It is for the holistic planning of the city of Bangalore. But there can be projects which can be envisaged, which can be conceptualized by the government of Karnataka also. That has been made very clear by both the BDA and government of Karnataka, and the minister himself has on record said this. So I think there is no clash of interest between Bangalore Metropolitan Committee and the government of Karnataka. That is one thing. Second, see, nobody said that this one steel flyover will ease the traffic on the roads of Bangalore. Even we have been talking about an overall plan for easing out the traffic in the entire city of Bangalore. We said that it is not only this flyover. There will be many more flyovers that will be coming. There will be metro. There will be more buses. See, you can't just have only metro and then solve the traffic problem. You can't just have buses and solve the traffic problem. You will have to have something of everything. So I think that plan is underway. When we are speaking specifically of this steel flyover, then we discuss only this. But otherwise, the government has a mobility plan for the entire city of Bangalore.
Mr. Hussain, I'll have to cut you in here. I want your closing remarks on this. Now, we saw close to 8,000 people come out on the streets, protest against the steel flyover. Now, there is the HC, which has given a stay order. We also have the NGT, which has given a stay order. Is the government still committed to go ahead with the steel flyover?
See, the government of Karnataka and the Indian National Congress both are committed. Both are fully committed to go ahead with all his plans, not only this flyover, but with other flyovers, elevated corridors, everything, whatever we have promised in the manifesto or otherwise planned by the government of Karnataka. We are fully committed to that. And as far as the stays in NGT and the High Court, we will answer both in the High Court and NGT. And as you said, there is also an avenue of going and challenging this in the Supreme Court. We'll do that also because we are committed to this. We'll go ahead with this.
Right. I thank you both, gentlemen, for joining us here on Magic Bricks. Now, Government of Karnataka, they're, saying that they will go ahead with the steel flyover and could possibly challenge the High Court and the NGT orders in the Supreme Court. That's something that we'll keep a close watch on here on Magic Bricks. Now, moving on to the big focus here on Magic Bricks. Now, Diwali is over and now the gloves are off and the swords are out in Mumbai, and the rest of Maharashtra political parties are upping the ante in election season. Starting with the BJP, the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has a chock-a-block schedule ahead of him, filled with Bhumi Pujans and ribbon-cutting events for key infrastructure projects. The message is clear: expect more announcements before the election code of conduct sets in. Ruchi Deshpande gets us the BJP's game plan.
In order to set the tone for the upcoming municipal elections and to ensure that him and his political party are very much in the game for these elections, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis will embark upon an inauguration spree of starting next week, that is the second week of November. What he will be inaugurating is a slew of major and long pending infrastructure projects that are very specific to the city of Mumbai. What we also learn from the sources in the Chief Minister's office is that he will start inaugurating these long pending infrastructure projects right from the second week of November towards the end of the year, that is till the end of December. Just to give you a lowdown on what are the infrastructure projects that he will be inaugurating, well, on the table we have the two elevated railway corridors running from Bandra to Versova and running from CST to Panvel. Besides this, we also have the Mumbai Coastal Road, which will be inaugurated by CM Fadnavis. Apart from this, we also have the Maharashtra Trans Harbour Link that will connect the city of Mumbai to Navi Mumbai. And lastly, we have a Chhatrapati Shivaji Memorial that will be set up in the Arabian Sea. Now, these are the few projects that are expected to be inaugurated starting next week, that is November. But when we got in touch with the BJP, they told Magic Bricks now that the exact timeline of the inauguration of these infrastructure projects is not known as of now. Remember that the municipal corporation elections are around the corner. They will be taken up in early 2017, that is in the month of February, and people see this as a way of BJP government by showcasing themselves as a very pro-development government by starting these long pending infrastructures very specific to the city of Mumbai.
Now, we also spoke to Niranjan Shetty of the BJP about the upcoming election. Listen in.
There are so many projects which we have done in the past 2 years. Either it may be Marathwada region, or take for example Jal Yukta Shivar, when people themselves donated 500 crores, which this Congress and NCP government never were able to send railway through waters through railway to Latur. So my CM has done this. I don't understand where is the politics into it. That now if you take the Krishna Dam project, he has allocated various such kind of projects. So it is not just municipal corporation election of Mumbai city itself. There are various other ongoing projects that the CM has taken into hands.
Okay. Talking a little more about these projects now, I know you said that they're not just Mumbai specific, but if we were to focus on the Mumbai specific projects, say your Bandra Versova elevated corridor or CST Panvel corridor, are they in that stage that they can be gone ahead and inaugurated now?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? See, we have been voted to power for 5 years. Naturally, first 2 years we have just spent to understand the requirement of the Mumbai city and the infrastructure that needs to be created within the Mumbai city. Naturally, the scarcity of the funds fund was the major issue, and now that we have a lot of proper funds that through which we can give back to Mumbai. Now it may be lot of issues like Trans Harbour Link, elevated corridor, which in the past 65 years they could never ever thought. Compare the metro projects which they completed, NCP and Congress government, hardly few kilometers, and we are going almost 150 kilometers to it. So this is the difference between their government and our government.
Again, is there any specific issue, any specific civic issue that the BJP is focusing on with these upcoming elections?
Naturally, see, it makes a difference when you are into the partnership. We are at a stake of 30% of our share, and naturally we could not do better. Now, since we are at the center, simultaneously at the state level, we can give much more. So we can give good roads, we can do lot of, water waste management and all such kind of things which are the basic civic necessities. I think these are the major issues that which we'll adhere to, and we'll see to it that the Mumbaikars does not have such problems like rainfall issues.
But the Congress isn't sitting pretty either. In fact, Mumbai Congress President Sanjay Nirupam took the battle to the doorstep of the Election Commission today, alleges corruption in the entertainment tax waiver given to the upcoming Coldplay concert in Mumbai. Aishwarya Palawal caught up with him. Listen in.
We have requested Honorable Election Commission Maharashtra that the British band show, which is called Coldplay, is going to be organized on 19th of November this year. And whole Maharashtra is going through election, and a code of conduct has been imposed, almost 90% of part of Maharashtra. So it will be a direct violation of code of conduct. So our request is either you postpone it, ask the government to postpone it, or you can issue a circular or instruction not to allow any politician on the stage, so that no political party should get any political benefit of this event. There are a number of issues. Nobody knows how much money is coming in the name of this program. Who are the donors? Because 1.5 lakh tickets are going to be sold out. The organizers are claiming that 80% of the total ticket will be free of cost. Nobody knows who is holding these free tickets and who is distributing these free tickets, because most of the things are going to be operated through social media. The social media, who is going to manipulate it, who is going to control it? At the end of the day, how much money is going to come and who is going to monitor it? Who is going to audit it? Nobody knows it.
Moving on to another big story cracking here on Magic Bricks now. The final GST or goods and service tax rates are out. A number of items will come under the zero rated items category, which means there will be no GST levied on such goods. Now this will include food grains commonly used by people and other essential items, items of mass consumption, or what the finance minister called Aam Aadmi products will be taxed at 5%. What's more, there will be two standard rates of 12% and 18% instead of just one standard rate. Now, the highest tax rate under GST will be retained at 28%. Tobacco, aerated drinks, luxury cars will be taxed at 28%. Now, the rollout of GST or goods and services tax will bring the entire country under a uniform tax structure. This will also do away with the burden of double taxation that customers have to bear on certain goods. Listen in to what Finance Minister Arun Jaitley had to say.
And I'm glad to inform you that we've been able to finalize the rate structure today. And the rate structure will be the following: that there will be a zero tax rate in which several items, which approximately constitute 50% of the consumer price index basket, would be included. We don't call it the exempted items, we'll call it the zero rated items. And it was decided that food grain used by common people would be in this category. So that would be zero rated, so that its impact in terms of inflationary pressure on common people is the least. The second category was decided as the 5% item. And these will be items of mass consumption which are used particularly by common people. There will be two standard rates of 12% and 18%. Now currently there are several items, particularly white goods and others, which are taxed at an excise rate of 12.5 and a VAT is 14.5, which is 27%. Along with the cascading effect, it comes to anything between 30 to 31% for most of these items. So the present rate of tax is 30 to 31%.
Now we're joined in by Jayesh Karya, partner, BSR and Associates. Mr. Karya, welcome to the show. First of all, tell us, it's a 4-tier tax structure now, 5, 12, 18 and 28, and 2 standard rates there. Will that complicate issues? That's one. Second, also tell me, how is the real estate sector going to be impacted? Because there's lack of clarity when it comes to the real estate sector there. Will stamp duty and registration be, an additional charge that the consumer will have to bear?
Very interesting question. Let me deal with the second question, which is the stamp duty and the registration charges. Since the conception or the inception of the GST, it was made very clear that the stamp duty is a state levy and therefore it will not form part of the GST regime. So as of today also, the law is very clear. Stamp duty will not be rolled out into GST. So that is going to be an additional cost. And again, there was in the past, I would say, a lot of representation made to kind of introduce like MVAT kind of stamp duty regime, in a sense that stamp duty should be levied only on the additional or the incremental, but that regime is also not being, I would say, accepted by most of the states. So the stamp duty and registration is going to be an additional cost over and above the GST. The first question to your that how this rate structure, how is going to impact, and as the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said that a lot of efforts have been taken to ensure that zero-rated products are going to be about 50%, and then the mass consumption would be 5%. Right. So if one were to look at between 0% and 5%, so about 50 to 60% of the mass consumption would be in that range. And the other category is going to be between 12 and 18%. Right. So if one were to look at it from a real estate standpoint, today, depending on the state or depending on the type of the construction, the rate varies between 10 to 12%. And if the rate of, I would say, 12% is kind of being considered for the real estate sector, then right. I think the impact would be not that significant. But if the rate is 18%, right. then I think it will be very, very inflationary for the real estate sector. Right. Right. So the impact will not be so significant for the real estate sector there. Thank you so much, Mr. Karya, for joining us here on Magic Bricks Now. With that, it's a wrap on the big story. Thank you so much for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.